Jamie, well, we've heard from senior European Commission officials that say this is a procedural step as part of an ongoing investigation. This is part of a probe that was launched back in October. And in recent weeks, we've heard from European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, who has accused China of unfair trade practices, dumping cheap and heavily subsidized electric vehicles onto the European market. That is the refrain from senior EU officials, at least. And this comes at a significant time when it comes to the growth of Chinese EV sales in Europe. According, Jamie, to some analysts, around a quarter of EV sales in Europe this year will be from Chinese manufacturers, and analysts estimate that there's around a 30% difference in prices if you look at Chinese EVs compared to European EVs. The message from EU officials is that this is unfair. This is because really across the Chinese supply chain, they allege, has been heavily subsidized. They say that this has led to a significant price suppression. EU officials also telling the press that this is, as far as they see it, China has not complied with the EU as best to its ability. China's foreign ministry has issued a stark response saying that this is a simple example of EU protectionism.
What do we think happens next? Is this the end of the story, or is there some wriggle room ahead?
It certainly remains to be seen. Now, significantly, Jamie, these rules, these tariffs are only expected to be implemented in the first week of July. The EU is certainly not speaking with a unified voice on this issue either. There have been a number of EU states that have expressed real reservations to this tariff decision. Namely, one of the most prominent voices of dissent is coming from Germany, and Chancellor Olaf Scholz, who has really warned about the dangers of protectionist policies, saying that isolation could lead to higher prices going forward. So there is still some degree of hope that coordination can be found, and the message from EU officials is that they say the door is very much open to find mutually beneficial solutions for both China and Brussels. So there is a little bit of wiggle room, but certainly there are concerns that Brussels' move could be met with tit-for-tat moves from Beijing. So here in Brussels, we're certainly watching out for what kind of reaction we might see in response.